Lesson 4.4 Part 2, we're still looking at equations of linear functions in standard form. Recall again that it's ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are real numbers, and a and b cannot both be 0. All right, but if a or b were 0, then we have to think about what kind of a line we would have. If the a value were 0, we'd end up with some number times y equals c. Solve for y, we would end up with y equals a number. Recall that when y equals a number, we have a horizontal line. And vice versa, if I let the b have the value of 0, I'd end up with ax equals c divided by a, and x would equal a number, so that would be a vertical line. And that's all they're asking us to do right here. It says write equations of the horizontal and vertical lines that pass through the given point. Well, here's x, here's y. So the vertical line that passes through this point would just be x equals 8. The horizontal line that passes through this point would be y equals 3. It does not get much easier than that. So don't second guess yourself. It's that easy. Vertical line through this point, x equals -2. Horizontal line through this point, y equals 6. And that's it. Okay. Now we're going to have to find the missing coefficient in the equation of the line that passes through the given point. So in this particular case, we're looking for the b value. Well, lucky us, here's an x, here's a y. They give us the a and they give us the c. So we just plug in what we know and figure out what we need to know. So I will go -4 times the x is -1 plus, I do not know b, but y is +1 equals 7. So the only variable I have left is b. Now I just do the arithmetic. -4 times -1 is 4. Plus, I'm going to put my coefficient first, so plus 1b equals 7. If I subtract 4, then b just equals 3. So there's the missing coefficient, and it says write the completed equation. So my completed equation is -4x plus 3y equals 7. Let's try another one. In this case, I'm looking for the a, but I do it the same way. So I have a times my x is 2 plus 1y, so y is 11, equals -3. So I have 2a plus 11 equals -3. If I subtract 11, 2a equals -14. Divide by the 2, and a equals -7. So the missing coefficient is -7, and the equation is -7x plus y equals -3. Okay, here are my favorite kinds of problems. Text messaging. Your cell phone plan charges you 2 cents to send a text message and 7 cents to receive a text message. You plan to spend no more than $5 a month on text messaging, so I guess you're kind of cheap. Letter A. Write an equation in standard form that models the possible combinations of sent text messages and received text messages. Over here, they've already set up our XY axis, so this lets us know that the sent text messages are x and the received are y. We do need to know that. If they did not let us know, then we would just get to make our own choice. But over here, they've set up the graph for us. So part A, it's 2 cents for every one that you send, so 2 cents x. It's 7 cents for every one you receive, so that's y. And you're going to spend really $5 or less, but we're going to look at the full $5. Part B, they want us to graph this. I think honestly it's easiest to graph when they're in standard form. I think it's easiest if you find the x and the y intercept. So that's what I'm going to do. Recall to find the x-intercept, you just set y equal to 0. Oops, I don't mean to put an addition sign there. I meant to put an equal sign. So when I divide 5 by 2 cents, I get 250. So my x-intercept is 250. And I'll do the same thing for the y-intercept. y-intercept. When I divide 5 by 7 cents, that gives me about 71.4. So I'm going to have to estimate 71.4, we'll say, pretty close to right there. This is a segment. Because I only have $5, so I can only do so much texting, both giving and receiving in this case. Let's not skip over what the rest of this question in part B is asking, though. It says explain what that means. Explain what the intercepts mean. So the x-intercepts means you can send 250 texts if you receive 0. And the y-intercept means if you send 0 texts, you can receive about 71, because you can't really get 4/10 of a text in there. Part C, list 3 other possible combinations of messages you can send and receive. So I will put send, receive. I'm shooting for the exact $5, because I might as well spend all my money. So since my receive ones are the 7 cents, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to say that and I'm pulling this out of the air, there's really no rhyme or reason for this. I know I can receive 71 or less. So let's say that I'm not really good at sending them, but I like to receive them. I'm pretty popular. People want to send me a lot of text messages. So let's say that I'm going to receive 50. Well, then I have to figure out if I receive 50, and I'll just do it up here, that means I have 7 cents times the 50. So when I work that out, that means I've spent $3.50 receiving. If I subtract $3.50, I have $1.50 left, and if I take $1.50 and divide it by 2 cents, that means I sent 75. Well, I guess I misspoke. I do send a little more than I receive, but that's okay. I'm still pretty popular. And then you can just check it. 75 cents or 75 times 2 cents plus 50 times 7 cents should equal $5. So let's do the receiving thing again. Let's say that I just received a weird amount. I'm just trying to think of an amount. Let's try 24. So I received 24, and let's see how many I sent. And then I'm going to, I'll see if I send a whole lot, how many I'm going to get. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 24 times 7 cents. That gives me $1.68. I'll take 5 and subtract that answer. That gives me $3.32 I have left. Divide it by 2 cents, and I'm going to send 166. And I need one more combination. So let's say that I send, I don't know, how about 34? It's just a weird number to send. So 34 times 7 cents is $2.38. $5, subtract that is $2.62. Divided by 2 cents, that means that I'm sending 131. So we can have a lot of different answers in here, but ultimately when you do the 2 cents times the x, the 7 cents times the y, and add them up, you should get $5. Okay, potting soil mix. You're making 24 pounds of your own potting soil mix of sphagnum, peat moss, and coarse sand. You buy the peat moss in bags that weigh 2 pounds. So the peat moss is 2 pounds. The last time you made 24 pounds of potting soil, you used 9 bags of the peat moss and 4 bags of the coarse sand. Use this information to find the number of pounds in a bag of coarse sand. So we did 9 bags of peat moss. Each bag weighed 2 pounds. Plus we did 4 bags of coarse sand, but I don't know how much it weighs. And it was 24 pounds altogether. So now I have to solve this equation for y, which is going to tell me how much coarse sand weighs. So 18 plus 4y equals 24. When I subtract the 18, I get 6. 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. So that means that the coarse sand is 1.5 pounds. Each bag is. Now they want us to write an equation. So I know that each bag of peat moss is 2 pounds. Each bag of coarse sand is 1.5 pounds. And we're making a mixture of 24 pounds. Part C, they're asking us again to do what we did in the last problem and come up with 3 different possible combinations for whole bags. So I don't want part of a bag, I want to buy the whole bag. So we've got X, which is the peat moss, and Y, which is the coarse sand. I spelled coarse wrong. I spelled it like a college course. There we go. Coarse sand. Alright, so I'm going to start with the coarse sand because now the reason that I do this is because I know any even number is divisible by 2. So I'm going to do it so that when I get this number times 1.5 and subtract it to 24, from 24, I want an even number left. So let's say, and remember I can't buy any more than 24 pounds worth. So if I do I'm calculating here. Let's just say we do 4 bags. So if I do 4 bags of coarse sand, 1.5 times 4 is 6. 24 minus 6 is 18. Divided by 2 is 9. Oh, that's what I had up here before, isn't it? Well, let's try another combination. Instead of the 4, let's try 6. So 6 times 1.5 is 9. 24 subtract the 9 is 15. But dag nabbit, that is not divisible by 2 for a whole bag, so I can't do 6. See, it's just a matter of let's do trial and error, and some of you are a little quicker at this than I am. Alright, if I do 8 pounds of coarse, oops, I didn't mean to do that. If I do 8 pounds of coarse sand, 8 times 1.5 is 12. 12 from 24 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So I can do 6 pounds of peat moss and 8 pounds of coarse sand. Let's come up with another one. I can do 12 pounds of coarse sand. 12 times 1.5 is 18. 24 minus 18 is 6. Divided by 2 is 3. And then I already did this one, so really technically I should do another one. So let's try another one. I could do 14 pounds. 14 times 1.5 is 21. Dag nabbit. 24 minus 21 is 3. So that's not going to work. How about you all come up with it and give me an answer for it tomorrow? So we need one more. Alright, your assignment is lesson 4.4, part 2, page 254 to 256. problems 23 to 29 odd, 32 to 36 even, and 38 to 44. And I'm going to ask you for that third combination, so make sure that I get it.